The sports betting shows where we talk the talk and walk the walk. It is Tuesdays are becoming like kind of one of the highlights of the week here, Dan. I got to bring you in because we were all kind of in a bad mood yesterday, and we said we got to get out of this funk. And damn it, we swept the board last night. Go 4-0, positive vibes. We shook off all the bad juju that was here. So we got a great show for us, for everybody today. Who we got? Because we're locked and loaded.
Yeah, Andy, I'm super pumped. We moved some things around. As is Drew Martin, he likes to join us on Tuesdays. He's on vacation this week. So his plight is our delight because we have Brian Power who's going to fill in for him here. We're going to talk a little NBA action with him. My 76ers, they got swept, so no game to talk about there, but we'll talk about the state of affairs in the NBA playoffs. So Brian agreed with me that this round has kind of sucked outside of the game that he's breaking down. That's Timberwolves and Spurs game 5. He's got a best bet for you in that one. Jesse Schule is coming on, the fade god. He's breaking down Cubs and Braves and Giants Dodgers. Giants are the Dodgers are a $3 favorite today. Could they be? We'll find out. We'll talk to Jesse Schule here coming up. But Andy, as you mentioned yesterday on the show, commenters a little bit we're getting a little bit on us, being like, hey, why are you guys wallowing a little bit? You're a little sad here on a Monday. And I said, I love the fact that everyone who was on the show, you, me, Yanni, even Bill, pissed off on a Monday morning because I said, this can only go up. You know what I mean? And then, Andy, our team, we go 4-0. We get another free play for the folks. We get the play of the day. Rui Hachimura over. Nice and easy, Andy. So a minute into the show, let's do what we always do, folks. Ask you to hit that like button, ask you to subscribe, and give you a free play that is now 15-6, a free client play, a minute into the show every day here, Andy. What are we looking at today?
Well, let's go to the WNBA. WNBA was off. Off. They were off yesterday, but Ski has come on this show, and I have said the same thing. We're either going to start off really hot at the beginning of the season or really cold because there's so many teams that have moved players. We got expansion teams. For us, it worked out great. We are 3-0 to start the season. So this is actually one of the plays that we have up for clients. So I want to go over it. The Lynx at the Mercury. I'm going to take the over 170.5. The Lynx, the first game, they played against a really good Atlanta Dream. Final landed on 181. They only lost by 1. So we know that this team is pretty good. The Mercury, they blow out the Aces. Now, the Aces are a great team who just completely no-showed coming off of the championship, 165 total. And then they lose by 16 to the Valkyries with a total of 174. So they're dancing around this 170 total. But both teams are shooting high enough field goal percentages to get over this total. And the Lynx, they've got some room to improve. They shot 27% from 3 so far. So I think they regress up just a little bit. So I think we get a little bit more fast-paced game here. Lynx and Mercury, I think this total is just a bit too low. We'll take over 170.5 as the Wager Talk play of the day.
Yeah, I like this one, Andy. Let's get a little scoring here on Tuesday. And before we bring in our first guest of the program, Andy, let's get the folks hyped. Because there are plays on WagerTalk.com for just $5. Let's go.
Are you not entertained?
They love it when I turn up the bass.
Are you not entertained?
Love it. We're so locked and loaded on $5 Tuesday. Let's bring in Jesse here, and don't forget it's also Dinger Tuesday. So at the end of the show,
yes,
we're going to talk about our dingers.
We're whipping out our dingers at the end of the show on Dinger Tuesday. Jesse, you'll be very glad that you will not be here for that. Correct, my friend? How we doing, Jesse?
Doing pretty good. Happy to be here again. I like that $5 Tuesday banner you guys got going. It's a lot better than the absolute wagon that you had there. Don't bring that out ever again.
We won't play it, Jesse, because you are an absolute wagon right now on your NBA money line side. We'll talk about that here.
No bad juju,
I won't play it. We can mention it, but as long as I don't play the drop, that has cursed everyone, you'll be safe there. But you're coming on, and it's a little bit different. We had games that Drew was going to be breaking down. We were going to talk Cubs, Braves, and we were going to be talking this Dodgers game. I say we start. I know it's the later game. Jesse, whenever you see, we're getting to this time of year when you're having these $3 favorites. And surprisingly, though, this run line is still 1.5, which typically once you start getting north of 3 or around that, you're going to start seeing these 2.5s pop up on the run line. We haven't seen that here, at least at the book that I'm looking at as we're sitting here. Giants, Dodgers. I am guessing, Jesse, you're not going to come on here and tell me let's fade Yamamoto and the Dodgers. Are you? Because that would definitely get the comments going, brother. How are you betting this one?
Hey, I was prepared to. I did yesterday. I broke down game 1 of this series yesterday for picks and parlays, and I did take the Giants on the run line, and they won outright. But I broke down this game, and I went into it intending, if you can give me a good deal on the Giants on the run line, but when I looked at the pitching matchup, Adrian Hauser, I just can't get behind that. And let's face it, the Dodgers have been struggling. What are they? They've lost 8 of their last 12, but the Giants, they've lost 9 of their last 13 as well. So, and Adrian Hauser, he's 0-4 with a 6.19 ERA, 1.54 WHIP. The Giants are 1-6 in his last 7 starts. He's 0-2 with a 12.34 ERA in 3 career starts against the Dodgers. 0-3 with a 7.2 ERA in his last 5 starts. What I got to do with this game is I got to get rid of the bullpens because the Giants actually have a slightly better bullpen than the Dodgers. And the Giants actually, the one thing that they do well is they have a top 10 bullpen. They rank 9th in team ERA amongst relievers with a 3.63 team ERA. I like the Dodgers team total for the first 5 innings, over 2.5. And when you look at the price, $3 favorite, the rest of the favorites that are minus $1.50 are their team total for the first 5 is going to be 2.5. So the over 2.5 team total is way better value than taking the Dodgers on the run line or the Dodgers on the money line. And I just don't have any faith that Adrian Hauser can shut down this Dodgers team at all through the first 5 innings of this game.
Well, we haven't given away a 3-day pass here in a minute.
Ooh.
So Jesse, I have to jump in and say, care to make this interesting. We got to figure out a way. You're supporting the Dodgers. Can I interest you in Adrian Hauser to give up less than 3.5 earned runs? Do you think he? Oh, can I take that side? Do you want Hauser over? Do you want first 5? I don't. My premise, I don't believe in these Dodgers bats. They're ice cold. This is what 4 straight games with 3 runs.
But why would I want to make it 3.5 when I already have 2.5? Is the thing.
I'll take the 2 then.
I like it. Well done, Jesse. You're
going to go under 2.5.
I'll go
Dodgers
under 2.5
total. Under 2.5 first 5.
Okay,
wow! So I love this. You know what that means, folks. When the video ends, not right now, when the video ends, let us know who you agree with, Jesse or Andy. Drop it in the comments below if you think he's going over the 2.5 earned runs. Jesse is the side there. If he's going under 2.5 earned runs, comment Andy with your WagerTalk username. Boom. Your side wins, and there certainly will be a winner because we got a half point on there. We're going to enter you in to win a free 3-day flex pass. Tune in tomorrow because we'll let you know who the winner is on that one. So I liked it. And Jesse, that was well done. He tried to get an extra run on you.
He totally stole a run from me.
He was starting to sound like a bookmaker.
Hey, that's a reason why those sports books are really nice and those lights are always on in there, Jesse. Right? So hey, let us know. Comment below. Over 2.5, under 2.5. Agree with Jesse. Agree with Andy. Include your WagerTalk username. Boom, free 3-day flex pass. That's when the show is finished here, and we'll remind you towards the end. All right, this one's a little bit more intriguing. This isn't a $3 favorite. The Braves are a modest favorite here as they're taking on the Cubs. 8.5 is what we're looking at here. Jesse, how are you looking to break this one down? Which is the team that we should be fading in this one,
Well, Dan, you said it, modest favorite, and I think too modest, to be honest with you. I don't know if the kids even know that they used to call the Cubs the lovable losers, but they had a 50-year spell where they were synonymous with losing baseball games. They're a first-place team this year, 27-14 straight up, but just 500 on the road. Atlanta, first in, I think they might have the best record in baseball. They certainly rank first in major leagues in scoring. Their team batting average, first in the majors, batting 270. They're coming off back-to-back wins over the Dodgers in LA. The Cubs coming off back-to-back losses at Texas. And the pitching matchup appears to be a wash. You got Colin Ray for the Cubs, 4-1, 4.03 ERA. And you got Grant Holmes, 2-1, 4.34 ERA. I actually like Atlanta here. Looking at Matt Olson, fourth in the major leagues in home runs with 14, first in the major leagues in RBIs with 36. He's 4 for 8 lifetime versus Colin Ray. I think this price is just a little too low. Atlanta at home, they're 12-6 at home. Maybe the best team in baseball right now. Give me Atlanta at this price.
I love it, man. Bravos -120. You can shop around. There's even some -118s out there. Save yourself 2 cents. It matters in the long run, folks. All right, Jesse. I know we talked the diamond, and thanks for filling in, helping us out here. But hardwood is where it's been at for you, man. Just this great run that you've been on. Knock on wood, we continue that run. What do you got locked and loaded? $5 Tuesday today that folks can find. WT.buzz/JS.
So $5 Tuesday, I do have a $5 play in the NHL, and I am 17-4, 81% with NHL dating back more than a month. 15-4, 79% in the playoffs with NHL. I also have a 5% NBA play that goes tomorrow, and I'm 100% perfect, 10-0 with my last 10 NBA money line sides. That's 100% perfect for the year of 2026. 10-0 run tested tomorrow with a 5% NBA. And if you guys have been watching my NBA single game videos on WagerTalk TV, I'm 10-2 in my last several videos on the WagerTalk TV channel. I'm doing so much winning with the free play videos. The haters have started resorting to commenting on my appearance rather than my ability to pick winners.
It never fails, Jesse. They'll find a way. Haters gonna hate, and that's why they say it. But Jesse, keep the run going. 10-2 on the free plays as well, folks. So check them out right here, as well as over at Picks and Parlays. Hit that subscribe button. You'll never miss it. Jesse, always a pleasure, man. Keep it up, and we'll see who you win a free three-day flex pass for, or if it'll be Andy. But we'll talk to you soon. That's Jesse Schule, WT.buzz/JS. Andy, we mentioned what he has for $5 Tuesday. I believe you and I have a play that we are rather excited about for this $5 Tuesday. People will be able to grab a lacrosse best bet up now for the quarterfinals here in the NCAA tournament. It's one that we have ISO'd in on. It's just $5, Andy, and we like it enough that we're putting it as play number 3 on our ladder challenge.
Yeah, we hit our 5% golf bet over the weekend, and so that was leg 2 of our Let It Ride. So we wanted to not let it ride yesterday, which was a mistake because we went 4-0 last night. So any play would have worked. But Dan's been talking about this lacrosse play for a while. He had this one circled, not a while, but a couple days. So we got the odds out on it, and it's $5 Tuesday. So we're putting that thing up for $5. If you followed us on the first couple legs of Let It Ride, we're just rolling over the profits into the lacrosse play that takes place this weekend. We have a lot of $5 plays. We have a WNBA play that is up. We have our NHL best bet that is up. You guys, I'll just tell you the WNBA play I gave out at the beginning of the show. It's a 2% play, and that's our $5 play. So if you're watching it, you don't need to worry about going to get that. But NHL has been fantastic for us. I do not have an NBA play that is up, but we got plenty. and we got a 5% golf play that is up. It is PGA Championship week, and so we have already put in a 5% play. And the best part about that one is it's half price. So we're coming off a 5% winner last week, so we're able to do these kind of obscure sports at half price. So we got lacrosse, we got NHL, we got WNBA, and we've got our half price $5 play. So tons of really, really good stuff. And coming off a 4-0 night, I really, really needed that one. We did just cash our tennis play because the second leg of the parlay, the match got canceled. So it's a profitable bet. So Lino, no, the golf bet is not live. They don't play this week. It's PGA Championship. It's a major. So you'll have this line every book. You should have it on. So the 5% is one that Jan and I were texting about yesterday. I was like, can you believe this line? So we're going to be recording the cut line right after the show, and that's going to break down every single angle you can possibly think of from the PGA Championship. So a lot of good stuff there. So, all right. Speaking of good stuff, we're going to bring in Brian Power.
Well done on the segue.
Yeah.
What's up, BP?
They don't teach you that. Yeah. They don't teach you that in school. That just comes with experience. Segue.
Yeah, you can't teach that. You just can't teach that. What up,
Brian?
BP?
Oh, not much. Just trying to keep that winning feeling going, I suppose. It's been a nice little run that we're on here, specifically with MLB totals. So we'll see if we can give the people some free advice here. The play I'm going to give out actually is a client play, one of 3 today. So please stay tuned.
Well, Brian, before we talk that, I saw that you starred in a music video over on the Best Betting Show Ever channel, the dumpster fire single. Your mullet looked amazing. And if you're wondering what we're talking about, folks, hit subscribe. And when you're done with our show, go over. I'll put it on the video at the end. Go check out the Best Betting Show Ever from yesterday's edition. And they debuted their new hit single. And Bri, you looked amazing, buddy.
You know, I thought the song wasn't half bad either, and some of the lyrics were funny.
It wasn't.
It's
AI garbage slop, but it's pretty damn good. I'm not gonna lie.
When Joe Ranieri, my good friend Joe Ranieri, I may add, says, "Oh, BP, I gotcha," I get a little nervous. But no, it was not. It wasn't nearly as embarrassing as I thought it might be.
It's no worse than anything you and Zeno do in the morning on the morning wager.
No.
So certainly no worse of a humiliation ritual.
No.
Well, Brian, let's talk NBA. We first got to talk about the 76ers and Knicks. Oh, that's right. They got swept.
Oh, no.
Come on. There was no need. No need.
I'm sorry. I thought.
How'd the Pacers do in the lottery, Andy? Don't get me started on that. Sorry, Brian. This is a carryover from yesterday. I'll see myself out.
This has quickly become the most interesting series so far of the playoffs, mostly because the Thunder and Lakers was not really that competitive. But wow, a lot of points here. I know Wemby's back, but 10.5 on a series that's 2-2, over under 218.5. Books are making you pay a pretty price if you like the Spurs and the bounce back. What do you think?
Well, we got to start by discussing the ejection of Victor Wembanyama from Game 4, I think. Look, I'm not going to say it completely altered the outcome. Minnesota was already ahead at the time of the ejection. And it was close. It was 2 or 4 point margin, but they actually fell behind the T-Wolves after the ejection, trailed by as many as 8 in the fourth quarter before staging the late rally for the outright upset. Anthony Edwards had a lot to do with that, obviously, down the stretch. San Antonio, though, obviously missing its top defensive presence for basically 3 quarters. We shouldn't undersell that. Wemby, you're talking about a guy, Andy and Dan, that had 19 block shots the first 3 games of this series. With him off the floor most of Game 4, Minnesota attacked the rim. They took 38 shots off drives. This is a crazy stat. That was their second highest number of shots off drives in a game ever under head coach Chris Finch. So they knew where to attack San Antonio with Wemby off the floor. Naturally, you're going to expect that number of shots off drives to come down here as Wemby is set to return for Game 5. I'm glad to see he wasn't suspended, by the way. I know the Stephen A. Smiths and the Kendrick Perkins of the world were calling for suspension, but personally, I thought that would have been pretty dumb if he was suspended. It was a basketball play. It's kind of like targeting in college football. I get it. Letter of the law. He needs to be. It's a flagrant too, but come on. He shouldn't be suspended for the next game. That's ridiculous. But what we have now, guys, is a series where the last 3 games have all gone over the total. Both games in Minnesota finished with exactly 223 points. Total for tonight, 218.5, which matches both games 1 and 4 for the high water mark in the series. Last time here in San Antonio, the Spurs scored 133. That was game 2. Do not think we're going to see anything close to that from them tonight, even though Wemby is back. They're probably going to shoot a little bit better from 3 than what we saw in game 4 as well. But that 133 points in game 2 aside, guys, the other 3 games in this series, the Spurs have scored 109, 115, and 102. If they fall anywhere in that range, and I think they will here tonight, then there's a very good chance game 5 stays under the total, because Minnesota only averaged 99.5 points in the first 2 games here in San Antonio. They shot very poorly in game 2, just 35 points going into the half of game 2. And game 1, which did stay under, should have stayed way under. After 3 quarters, it was only a 72-69 game. Just a couple more quick points to add. Wemby might have a big game tonight as he returns, but I don't think we're going to get anywhere close to 68 points combined from De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, and Dylan Harper. As a matter of fact, Fox is listed as questionable, guys, to even play tonight. He's dealing with some ankle soreness. One would expect he's going to try to give it a go, but how effective will he be? Remains to be seen. I don't think we're going to see 24 points again. Of course, Minnesota, they're dealing with injuries as well. Anthony Edwards, only a couple weeks removed from a significant knee injury. Didn't seem hampered by it in game 4. I'll give you that, but I don't think we should just forget about the injury. And DiVincenzo's, of course, out for the year. DeSumo also injured. He's averaged just 7 points per game in the series. He's been a real non-factor. And then last point I'll make here on this game, amount of scoring we saw early in game 4. It was 34-30 in the first quarter. That I don't think is getting repeated tonight. I know Wemby played most of the first quarter in game 4 before the ejection, but in the 3 minutes he subbed out in the first quarter, take note of this, there were 16 points scored. That's kind of a lot for 3 quarters or 3 minutes of play, pardon me. So under 218.5 is what we are doing for game number 5.
I have to push back, Brett. That was not a basketball move. That was not a basketball.
It was an elbow.
Assault. It was assault, brother. But by the way, we have the most obvious fix for when a play like that happens. It's like, should he be suspended or should he not? Just suspend him for the first game of next season. Just say we don't want to suspend guys. We don't want to suspend big name players in the playoffs, but that play was suspendable, so you can't play the first game of the season. This is the easiest fix ever. Like I don't understand why nobody's brought up, like, you can suspend him, but it just rolls over into the next game that he's eligible to play. I don't know.
I thought a suspension would have been a little rough for game 5.
You can't do it in the playoffs. That's silly.
Well,
it's
yes.
nonsensical. So
I mean, he missed most of the game anyway. So I mean, I don't know.
It cost them a game. It cost them. It made it so they couldn't.
It's game. like Brian said, he did kind of like miss majority of the game. You think back to apples, not quite apples to apples, but remember when Jalen Carter spit on a Cowboys player to start the year, and then he technically served his suspension by sitting out the rest of that game. So no spit about that needed in this. It was one of my favorite parts of the NFL saga.
That was incredible. I mean, you're just sitting down, getting ready to watch the first game. It's like he just spit on that man. What a start to the game. I was like, wow, he's gone.
Yeah. Can't talk to give it the old hawk to it. And it was a next.
Excuse me. Level.
Yeah, next level.
All right, I want to talk a little bit NBA playoffs in general, and then MLB. Sure. But anytime we get a chance to play one of our favorite drops, we do. But we're going to set up an impromptu question here for you, Brian. All right, so I'm going to ask you, who is the bigger absolute wagon at this point? Who is on the bigger role, you would say, right now? Is it the Oklahoma City Thunder, who is waltzing into the into the Western Conference Finals healthy? Jalen Williams now gets a month. He's going to be off a month to heal. Meanwhile, the Spurs and Timberwolves are beating the brakes off.
Beating the shit out of each other, literally.
Literally beating you up. Or is it this Tampa Bay Rays team that is now on a 15-2 run? So you got to give one. Who's on the bigger wagon right now? The Rays or the Thunder?
Wow, that was a real curveball, Andy. Give me a second to think, because I assumed you were just going to say Oklahoma City or the Knicks, and so I was preparing my answer.
Count.
Then you
and then you
have to say the Tampa Bay Rays. So look, here's the deal. Oklahoma City. Look, we know they're very impressive. They're the defending NBA champions. They're the best team in the league. Okay, but need to pump the brakes a little bit on what I'm not, or any of us. Dan, Andy, comment section, anyone watching us, after the fact here on the WagerTalk YouTube channel, are any of us really surprised that they swept through the first two rounds? I mean, they played Phoenix and the Lakers without Luka. I mean, neither of those teams are top 5 teams in the Western Conference during the year. My opinion only there. I thought they got a pretty favorable draw through the first two rounds. So, I mean, it's going to be a tougher time in the conference final for the Thunder. What the Rays are doing, it's crazy. They're what now? 18-3, 19-3 against American League teams. I talked about that with Prez and Joe yesterday. I don't think Prez thought that trend was worth much. I thought it was pretty interesting, to be honest with you. I bet the Rays over 77.5 wins to start the season. What they're doing, I didn't think they'd be this good. I don't know. The Thunder are still better, like long term. I mean, I don't know how long the Rays can keep this up. I mean, are the Rays going to be a wild card team in the American League? Sure. American League is weak. But, yeah. I mean, in terms of ceiling, I would still, relative to their sports, I would still go with the Thunder relative to what they can do. I mean, I don't think the Rays are going to win the World Series necessarily. The Thunder, I would not be doing cartwheels and flipping all over the place if they repeated as NBA champions.
I got to go with the Thunder. They're doing it in the playoffs, and they're just set up for a nice repeat. But
the chat did make a good honorable mention, the Carolina Hurricanes. I mean, but again, if you beat up on a Philadelphia team, it doesn't quite qualify you. You know what I mean? Like both of those teams won their Super Bowls in the opening rounds of their respective playoff series. So you beat up on the teams who had already accomplished their goals, so to speak.
What happened to you out in California, Dan? You come back and you're just ripping all these Philadelphia teams. You're telling me, I'm not even a fan of the Sixers, is what he says.
I'm not. I mean, so I told you, and you know this, Brian. So you know that the point when they said, we don't want to keep Jimmy Butler, we're keeping Ben Simmons, I washed my hands of the organization. And then
good decision.
We learned more and more about Josh Harris, and I learned that I probably don't want him owning my team. And he's an owner of the Redskins. He's a Redskins guy. He's not a Sixers guy. So I'm out on the Sixers until Harris moves on. So that is my disdain for them. And I'm not bashing the Flyers. It's just they way over exceeded expectations. Them beating Pittsburgh, that was a good thing for them. You know what I mean? So I just don't think they matched up with the speed of the Carolina Hurricanes. So I think Carolina Hurricanes are a wagon, but they also got to face a team who arguably shouldn't have been there at that point.
I just want to throw this in because I was completely anticipating you wanting me to talk about the Knicks, and the thought is in my head. So I want to share this. It's going to be really interesting when we get to the Eastern Conference Finals, because the Knicks are going to have a long layoff here because this Cavs-Pistons series, as we know, is at least going 6 games until Friday. So that'll be quite the amount of time off for the Knicks. Is the time off going to be something that cools them off? Because this is a team that shot 50% or better from the floor now 6 consecutive playoff games. When you're shooting that well, you guys know this, Dan and Andy. I think a lot of people watching us understand this too. The last thing you want is a bunch of days off if you're the Knicks. So I was saying, hey, they can't during the Sixers series. I was saying the Knicks can't keep shooting this well, can they? Well, they did. But, now that there's all this time off, maybe that's what cools them off a little bit, gets them out of rhythm. That will be certainly a story, regardless if it's the Cavs or Pistons as the opponent. That will be something you guys need to pay attention to when that series begins.
This is the team that has traditionally worn down in the playoffs, especially Brunson. So possibly it helps him.
They're
He's not
grinding out in long series
out there. So yeah, we'll kind of see on that one. So the reason I asked you about the Rays and the Thunder was since you didn't get a chance to talk about 76ers Knicks, I was like, you can talk about something. And you said we can talk NBA playoffs or MLB totals. So I just tried to combine MLB and NBA into one.
That was well done.
One thing, but MLB totals. Talked about this. I focus on props. I don't deal with totals a whole lot, but that's been really, really well for you. So what are you seeing so well with MLB totals right now?
I mean, it's not like some secret formula. I'm not going to say, oh man, you won't believe the books are sleeping on this. I'm not going to like come out there and say this. They are sleeping, I think, with the unders in Texas games. For those of you paying attention, the unders now 16-2 in Rangers home games this season. We've gone to that well a few times this season. It's incredible. There's only an average of 5.2 runs being scored in games in Arlington this year, guys. The Rangers are number 1 in fewest runs per game allowed at home. And then they have the distinction of also being 30th, i.e. dead last in runs scored at home. As far as the success with totals, and we are number 1, I should mention, with MLB totals this season, we're on a 20-3 run with them. I think that's pretty good, quite frankly. We're just looking at matchups, and, I'm picking matchups where, hey, I think, if I'm going with the over, I'm like, hey, I think there's a chance both these offenses could have a nice day. If I like the under, I'm like, hey, I don't like the matchup for either offense in this game. Case in point, what was it? I think it was Friday. I had the under in the Cubs Rangers, and I had written, I think the Cubs bats cool off this week. And now that eventually happened, but in that particular game, they actually didn't, but I still won the under bet. Why? Because the Rangers scored 1 run in that game. So, we're just looking at that. We're looking at things day by day, matchup by matchup basis, and we're having a lot of success. Going to keep rolling with it, and hope it continues here throughout May. Again, by the way, for $5 Tuesday, I'd be remiss if I did not mention that I have an MLB total available for $5. Again, I just mentioned, let's not bury the lead, 20-3 run with MLB totals, 16-2 last 18, 16-2 actually last 20. We had a couple pushes in there, 10-1-1 my last 12. It is a 36-14 all sports run since April 17th. Lost yesterday in soccer. Wasn't happy about that. Bad call with Millwall down in the EFL Championship playoff, but we'll get it back. I got 3 totals tonight, 2 in MLB, 1 in the NBA, which I just gave you for free. So WT.buzz/BP is the place to go.
God, I hate it when you lose on Millwall.
I know. I really liked it, man. I thought we were getting a good price. What are you doing, Millwall at home? 2-0?
Well, your MLB totals are the absolute wagon here. Better than the Thunder, better than the Rays. Brian Power, tell us about the best betting. Are you in this? You're in this new music video.
Yes. I don't know. I just show up when I'm asked, Andy. That's all that I do. And, who knows? They make music videos about me. No, it was a good video. Joe Ranieri did a hell of a job with the video. I saw Johnny Detroit in the comment section noting that Prez looks a little bit younger than usual, thanks to AI. I wasn't going to say that. I don't know if I'm in that position to make that comment, but I, would maybe like Johnny's comment.
Joe did an amazing job by typing into a prompt of, "Hey, make me this video." So let's clear that. Wow. Joe wasn't grinding in the laboratory, creating every graphic that you saw. He typed probably a paragraph of text, and Prez told him, "Make sure it makes me 20 years younger. Add that into the prompt." And then that was what AI spit out for you there, Brian. I for one enjoyed it.
I thought Joe didn't sleep for days making that video. That's news to me. Yeah. Wow, that's incredible.
Didn't sleep for minutes while that thing was rendering, I'm sure.
BP. We started the recording late, he said, because of him. And by the way, check out Dan mentioned the show at the top. Morning Wager, Zeno and I. Zeno was in a mood this morning, so be forewarned. But it was still a fun program, nevertheless, with 3 free plays, of course, between he and I. So check that out.
Yeah, it's the abbreviation is MW. It could just be PMS when you're working with your friend your friend Mark Zeno. You never know what you're gonna get, but you know where he stands. That's for sure. And you should like and subscribe. It's on the Picks and Parlays channel, but we collab it here, so you can find it at WagerTalk as well. Bri, we'll see you next time, brother. Appreciate you filling in here. BP, WT.buzz/BP is where you can find him. And yes, RJ, Zeno is just a mood. That is a good way to put it. That is a good way to put it. He is himself.
It really is just that graphic that I make every morning for the Wager Talk like play of the day. They used to take hours.
Yeah.
It literally would take it would take you hours to make something.
Yes.
Like this. It really would.
Now we just tell it, hey, here's what the play is. Yeah. Yeah. Poor graphic designers, man.
It's wild, man. It's wild. So are we doing the golf show live? No, because we add a few bells and whistles.
Drop it. Drop it in the comments below. We answer the comments all week long through the event.
Put it live right now because we record right after this, Seth. So whatever you want to know, I can start going over. So, all right, we got Dinger Tuesday. We got all around the world. Let's go over that. Let's do all around the world first, Dan. We got a couple plays to talk about. So
let's do it.
Okay, one of the plays that we cashed in WNBA was a fade of this Fire team that is really small inside. We took Cardoso for the Chicago Sky to go over her points, flies over her points, flies over her rebounds. The Fire, they're just tiny inside, and Jonquel Jones is going to be much bigger than anybody the Fire have. So I'm going to take her over 8.5 rebounds. First 2 games, she's gone under this total, but I'm just telling you, the Fire are going to struggle. They got out rebounded 46-24 against this guy. They almost got doubled up. That's hard to do. So I'm going to keep an eye on this angle on fading the Fire inside defense here. And we haven't talked about the Ducks and the Golden Knights. I'm going to flip it and go under 6.5 after the first 2 overs. I'm just playing this trend of over both games in Anaheim, under on both games in Vegas, and easy under. Total 4 in those. Vegas tends to ramp up their defense. So 3-1 and 3-1. These teams have rotated wins and losses. So expect a close game. But this was 5.5 would be a stay away, but under 6.5 would be the only way that I think you could play that one. So, all right. We had a couple of questions earlier, Dan. Andrew, why aren't we hammering Jalen Duren unders? And why is this point total 11.5 juiced over for tomorrow? It's because he's been better at home. On the road, he's been a disaster, but his stats are better at home. So I think the books are anticipating a much better performance for him at home. I can't play any overs on him, but I'm not going to be playing anything on him. But yeah, it's been a great season for him, but oh man, this playoffs has been disastrous. And then somebody was asking about the Gina Carano fight this weekend. Yes, we will have plays on the MVP card. Gina Carano.
He meant to say 90% of the bets versus Rousey, yet she's 4-1 is what he read earlier today.
Yeah. So Gina Carano is going to lose. She's 45. She's already said her biggest win was even being able to make it here. So I wouldn't. I do not give her much of a chance unless Ronda Rousey goes out and just takes it completely easy on her. But both women are way past their prime, but it should be pretty fun. There's actually a couple decent fights on this card, and we will have client plays on it for sure. It's a terrible UFC card, and this MVP event is going head to head against UFC. So when we do our live show, we'll be looking at all those plays. So.
Well, and the one thing that I'll say before we do Dinger Tuesday too is that's partially why I like looking at betting splits for conversation, for something that's maybe lopsided, things like that. But I will never worship at the altar of what the betting splits are, because you don't know what the article that Sean read there, it could have been 90% of the bets in the first 10 minutes we opened. It could be 90% of the bets today. You know what I mean? Like, those numbers, they're interesting, but you truly never know what that actual betting split represents. So it's just something that I find a good conversation piece, but I would never use it as something prescriptive to fade the public or anything like that. Personally, Andy, it's simply that's something that Dave always warned me about. Our friend Dave Sherapan, he was an odds maker, longtime odds maker, and he would go as far to say betting splits are bullshit. I don't believe that, but I do understand what he was meaning by you don't know what those numbers mean at the end of the day or what they are truly telling. So that would just be my cautionary tale over, worshiping at the altar at betting splits.
All right. Let's go with Dinger Tuesday. We're going to play the drop, but we want to be very, very clear. Home run bets are terrible value. These are not actual plays. This is a sports book does a promotion every Tuesday called Dinger Tuesday where they boost a home run. So Dan and I try and have a little fun and just throw out a play. I don't recommend even betting any of these, but we're just going to try and have a little fun with Dinger Tuesday, especially since Dan got to witness in person a dinger being hit on a guy that he picked for Dinger Tuesday. So
it was epic.
It was great.
It was
All
epic.
Right.
Here we go. Dinger Tuesday. Bombs away. Yes, as Andy said before you comment below, what a homer pick, a 2-1, blah, blah, blah. Yes, and guess what? At the book that this Dinger Tuesday thing is offered at, the limit on the bet is $10, folks. Andy and I's unit size is a little bit bigger than $10. So the most you can bet on these props, if you're doing the Dinger Tuesday promotion that gives you, a 50% boost, the most you can put down is $10. So Andy, I do bet these myself because it's $10. Who cares? It's okay. I paid for my parking ticket when I went to the Phillies, and I told you bet Bryce Harper, and he hit 2 home runners. So who are you looking at for Dinger Tuesday today, Andy? Who's your home run hitter?
Well, I did not like what I heard from Brian because Brian's talking about how Texas can't score and everything, but I'm going to Corey Seager. He leads the Texas Rangers with 7 home runs, and he faces Zach Gallen, who's given up 4 this season, including 2 in his last start. So he's coming off a game where he was serving up grapefruits, and Corey Seager already has 7 this year. He leads his team. He's batting near the top of the order, so he should get at least 1 extra at-bat than some of the other guys. So Corey Seager is going to be my Dinger Tuesday pick. Who you got?
I like it. Play a little Bob Seger to get you jacked up for that one. I am going with Brandon Lowe of the Pittsburgh Pirates. They're taking on Michael Lorenzen and the Colorado Rockies. Lorenzen is just a fade guy for me, right? So that's partially why I like Bryce Harper last week, because I want to find a starting pitcher who could get shelled early and with a bad bullpen behind him. So that's why we're looking towards the Rockies. So Michael Lorenzen, 7.1 ERA. He's given at least 1 home run up in back-to-back starts. He's allowed 1 or more homers in 5 of his 8 games that he started this season. And now the guy that we're betting on in Brandon Lowe, 10 home runs on the season. He's really good against righty. 8 out of his 10 home runs have gone against right-handed pitching. He's 2 for 8 in his career against Lorenzen. With 1 home run, he makes it 2 today at a plus 420. If you use the 50% promo boost, you get a plus 630 on your little $10 sprinkle. So Seager and Lowe, those are our Dinger Tuesdays. Best of luck. Comment below what your Dinger Tuesday is. Let us know what your dinger looks like for the day.
I'm proud of you because I was looking at trying to fade Lorenzen too. He was pitcher number 1. I was like, I couldn't get there, and then I was like, oh, Zach Gallen's been serving up some softballs here. So all right, good show. Great show. Tuesdays are becoming the new Fridays here. Yeah, really, really good stuff. So, RJ, I would not parlay them.
No, I mean, hey, maybe. Screw it. You know what I mean? Because and then if you do parlay it, you can comment and victory lap. It's like what Yanni said on Friday. He was like, if you want to just make a name for yourself, you have to give out Strickland, right? And then Strickland ends up winning. You know what I mean? So who knows? Maybe the parlay is the way to go.
That was said. Yes, that was said.
I won't be parlaying them together, but you can.
All right, $5 Tuesday. We're letting it ride. Going for 3 in a row on our Let It Ride with Dan's lacrosse play that is up. After tonight, it'll go up in price, but it'll still be half price. We've got our 5% PGA Championship best bet that is up, and right after this, we'll be recording the cut line to get you ready for the PGA Championship. And of course, we got WNBA and NHL $5 best bets. Get as many as you want. Bet responsibly. Want to make sure we don't have too much of our bankroll in play on a Tuesday, but if we see some good spots, we're going to pounce. Good luck on your bets. See everyone tomorrow. Take care.